cookbook friends, and welcome. Today we're going to look at The Secret of Cooking. This is by the B. Wilson, who does a lot of food education, especially providing good food for everybody, for kids especially. She's got a couple TED Talks. She's a BBC food writer. She's done a lot of stuff. So check her out. All of her stuff is in the description down below if you want to learn more about B. Let's look at this cookbook. I've only briefly skimmed through some of it. This is one of those cookbooks that you definitely want to sit and read. She's a fantastic writer. She's got a lot of amazing stuff, lots of thoughtful words about cooking itself and what it means to be a cook. One of my favorite things in this book, and I'll get to a pretty picture in just a second. Here you go. One of my favorite things that I read in this cookbook is that cookbooks are not perfect. And that's something that a lot of us don't realize is when they write a lot of these things and these ingredients, sometimes there's actual errors in the cookbook itself, but there's a lot of nuance to cooking. Lots of things that might not be included in the cookbook, and just the act of cooking kind of changes. And sometimes you might have a tablespoon, but maybe the person was doing a little more than a tablespoon of a ingredient or a spice, so it changes everything. So B talks about that, and her cookbook is really about just letting it happen, going with the flow, just checking out cooking and just having fun with it, playing with it, and allowing the nuance to just be what it is and giving yourself grace. It's a really great message, and there's a lot of writing in here. So it's more than just a recipe. There's just a ton of really great wisdom throughout this book. So let's start. We have grated carrot salad with variations. So it serves 4. It has on the top here cooking technique and cutting technique. So in the very beginning, we talk about different cutting techniques. So what it means to dice versus slice versus all of those things. Peeling, grating. So she goes over all of those basics, but really it's do you. Just try it. So then she has a whole giant paragraph about most of these dishes. And here we go. This is the actual dish. So it says carrot salad ideas for 4.5 cups of grated carrot. So these are all of the different variations that you can do. And it's very, very loose, super loose, as you can see. So if this is not for you, if you need very, very just articulated instructions and just everything's very crisp and clear and no writing whatsoever, this book might not be for you. And that is okay. So here we have a carrot and panch paran pickle. I don't think I've ever heard of a panch paran before. So here we have a smaller description of the dish. Here's our list of ingredients. Cutting technique, cooking technique. So it says cutting technique is julienne, stir fry is the cooking technique. We have US measurements and I think some metric, not everything. Only some. And here is our instructions. And it's this giant paragraph, right? So you have to read through it and just have fun with it. Mistakes happen in the kitchen all the time. And a lot of it, I think, is a lot of us might be even scared to be more creative or allow ourselves to make mistakes. And that's what this cookbook is about. It's just let's have fun with it and let's cook. So here's some more. We have a seared carrot recipe. So lots of carrots in the front. These are ingredient based, it looks like. Here we have a focaccia. Stunning. I love that. Ooh, what is this? This is a lime and spice pound cake. So pretty. I don't think I've seen a lime pound cake, actually. That's a good idea. Here's a chapter. It says, find the missing element, a chapter on seasoning. That's one of the things that I noticed. So I have a confession. I don't follow a lot of recipes, cookbook recipes to the T, because I noticed that a lot of people go really light on seasoning for my family. We like it just very powerful seasoning. There's only been a few times where it's been hey, this is great. A lot of times I have to adjust, and maybe that's the same for you. Maybe it might be too much seasoning. So I love that we get to go with the flow a little bit, learn a little bit about seasoning. But yeah, I think cookbooks can just be a guide to follow, get a gist, and eventually you'll end up being your own mad scientist in the kitchen. Here we have, oh, what is this? This says a burnt finger lentils. So you see she has a lot of writing, like a lot of just personal descriptions, not just about the dish, but just explorations on cooking and what that means and different ways of going about each ingredient here. So that's kind of fun, especially if you're somebody who enjoys reading and cooking. All right, so tools, here's different tools. This is kind of in the middle of the book, which is interesting. So as you advance more, you can learn about electric beaters versus hand whisking versus weighing versus all of, different knives, etc. This, let's see, this looks like a fritter. Zucchini and herb fritter. Delicious. That looks so good. Here we have, trying to find all the photos for you. This is a heavenly overnight waffle. Is that butter? What is that? That's so good. Moving on, we have, there isn't a ton of photos in here, by the way. It's not a very photo forward. This is definitely more of a text forward. This is, let's see, a Ruth's tuna salad with anchovy dressing. And to be honest, this is a fabulous looking tuna salad. Most of the time, like, it's kind of, it's just really scary looking sometimes, tuna salad. It's just really pale pink and mayonnaise-y, and this looks vibrant and fun and cheerful with like life, and that's not usually what I'm used to with a tuna salad. We have a soft centered lemon omelet. What? I'm gonna have to make that. That sounds great. Buttery steamed eggs with vinegar and herbs. So good. And then you just use bread as a dipping agent. That sounds so good. Molasses and oat soda bread. Beautiful crust there. Moving forward a little bit more, we have a banh mi. So there's a lot of different recipes in here that you'll find from all over the place. Ratatouille for Richard. That looks pretty. I think I saw another ratatouille. Here's the aftermath, which looks so colorful. Skillet scallions. I don't think I've ever had just scallions by themselves, but I do enjoy, if you get carne asada and you get like the grilled scallions. Oh man, my favorite. This is a adaptable ash. I don't think I've heard of this before. This is different. It's a soup, kind of a soup. This is Sri's Donburi rice bowls. So good. Wow, I love I think those are clams or mussels, but man, so good. A chicken curry. Asparagus and pea laksa with fried tofu puffs. Yum. Moving forward, we have, this is here's jammy plums with coconut cream. And then this one, it says an elegant dinner for four that happens to be gluten-free. That's interesting. And you can see, this is just a big paragraph of like what this dish is. So it breaks it down here on the following pages. So the lamb chop, the masala of pears, etc. Silky black bean ragu. That's a great idea. Cooking alone. This is an interesting chapter. We have a cauliflower cheese souffle. I would love to make a souffle this year. I've never made a souffle. Here we have 3 days of sausages. So you have sausage greens and polenta. That looks amazing. Perfect fall dish. Here, this says, this is a bean and sausage kofta with parsley. Beautiful. Sorry for not showing you guys the photos as I flip through the entire time. This is a pretty hefty book with a lot of recipes and a lot of knowledge in here. Some of these dishes are gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian. There are variations for a lot of these dishes. And again, it encourages us to play around with food a little bit, figuring out just our own cooking style as well. So if you're looking for a really cool, more of a literary cookbook, this is The Secret Cooking by the famous Bee Wilson, who has done so much as far as like food education. It's a pretty hefty novel, lots and lots to read. So check this out. If you're looking for some other celebrity cookbooks or just other cookbooks in general about the fundamentals of cooking, we do have a playlist for that. So check it out and join us on our socials. Those are down in the description below. Make sure to follow, comment, subscribe. Let us know what cookbooks you want us to go through next time. Thank you so much.